It's another beautiful day to be a Raider. Draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I'm the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Deep behind the enemy line, we have the captain with me again in studio. And this is Raider Reaction. Thursday night. Thank you for joining us. We've got a lot to talk about. Raider Nation, as obviously you are all well aware, there's been a lot going on, Captain. A lot has went on since last time we've had you join us. So, how you doing? How's your holidays, first off?
I'm good. By the way, folks, I want you guys to know, this is my brother, but he is not that much bigger than me. Because I am chill sitting back here, okay? So it's a visual thing.
It's all about perspectives.
I kind of feel like mini-me at this point. And he's supposed to be doing this, and I'm supposed to have a bald head. But it's the opposite, because he's the dude with the bald head.
Yes.
But I don't know. But
I prefer shaved.
Okay, no, and you know what?
That makes it sound like it's a choice.
I apologize profusely. He does have a shaved head.
Yes, shaved is a choice. Bald is
bald is that's God's way of telling you to slow down.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
But I want to let you guys know that since this is our last show, at least football-wise for preview,
yes,
that I hope that everybody out there had a wonderful holiday, be it Hanukkah earlier this month for all my Jewish friends, and again, I'm half Jewish, Christmas the other day, Kwanzaa if you celebrate it.
Yep, that's going on.
And of course,
right?
Yeah, I think it's still going on. And because technically 12 days of Christmas, you know, because I did this. You know, I used to be the 5 golden rings in the student choir when I was in elementary school because my voice didn't crack yet. And it's like the little Jewish kid is singing the 5 golden rings, you know. So I figured that's some good trivia for you as well. But as long as everybody is safe and happy, and I implore you, for New Year's, please be safe. Do not drink and drive. Have a plan, because there are too many good people out there.
Too many options now, too, man. Uber, Lyft. There's too many damn options. You don't have to take a taxi.
That's it. That's your PSA, because I love you, Raider Nation. There's only about 3 or 4 people that I abhor, hate, loathe, and just totally. And they know who they are. They're not on this channel, because just the thought of them makes me ill. But again, to everybody else, lots of captains love to you. And for you, Yarg! Raider Nation. Right. We're getting it. We're getting it.
Well, let's get into it. So, obviously, in the last week, Sunday, the season died.
Yeah.
We were eliminated before, well before, we even had to start thinking about the game that was on Monday night.
Yes.
And then we come out Monday night, and with another lackluster performance, our 3rd loss in a row. So, where do we begin, Captain?
Well,
with how we got to be 6-9.
Going back to before we go over this debacle of the season, I'm gonna peg on something you just said though. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't call it lackluster from the first half when you look at a couple of the key points. Nelson had a pick 6, and he dropped it.
True.
Okay, that one play. And I did the halftime show. If you guys were there for that halftime show, statistically and the way that they were playing, the Raiders were in that game in the first half. they even came out in the third quarter and controlled the game. About midway through the third quarter to the end of the game, they crapped the bed. They crapped the bed. I have no clue what happened at one halfway point, and we're going to talk about, obviously, some things for this whole season about where the team is at mentally.
I'm with you. I know it wasn't, they were in the game the whole time, but the fact that they stay in the game and hang around with the 10 points and the 3 points, and they just don't put up any points.
Well, they didn't do anything offensively.
No.
The defense, the last 5 games has been fantastic. Imagine what
top 5 defense the last 5 weeks.
Imagine what this team could have been with Pagano at the helm from Jump Street. No Ken Norton, no BS.
But that almost made it worse for me the last few weeks, is because the defense is playing so much better. The defense has improved, and our offense can't even put up, we can't get 17. We can't get 20. We can't get enough to even when our defense is now starting to hold some teams down, score, we can't muster any points.
Yeah, the only good thing that happened on Monday night was I won $20 from an Eagles fan because she bet me that they were going to beat us by double digits and we weren't going to score double digits. So I had a nice 20, and I don't normally gamble on things that I have no control over. But that was a bet.
That was a good bet.
That was a bet that I just could not wait. She said we would be under 10 points and they were going to win by double digits. I said all for me to win the bet was we had to score 10 points.
Yeah,
we scored 10 points. That was a nice $20, which I just spent on gas. So that was good to go for
that was a sucker bet.
Sucker bet.
Yeah.
But
I'm all for gambling when you know you're going to win.
Exactly. I got a couple other sucker bets there as well. But this whole season, and it's been espoused in the press, and can I go right into the Lincoln Kennedy interview on 95.7 The Game. Okay, I don't know if you guys have actually heard the whole thing. I didn't have a chance to listen to it, but I got the details via one of the websites that I frequent all the time. I get good information.
And I didn't get a chance to hear it all either. The captain briefed me on it, but we obviously wanted to discuss it. And it sounds like it was a lot along the lines of what NorCal and myself were talking about last night, which is where the season looked like it started to come off the rails.
The season was jettisoned psychologically, and you guys know it. Game 3, the debacle in D.C. And again, politics aside, whether you like the president or don't like the president, the fact is that this president has had a major issue or put his spin on the NFL this entire year.
Yeah, he's made a point to go at odds with the NFL for one reason or another. Again, whether you like it, one side of the fence you're on or the other, it's a fact. It's happening.
That is a fact.
That's news, man. So how you feel about it or not, it's happening.
It's happening. And you know what? I said it a couple weeks ago. That day, be it from the fact that what is going on with the offense. Granted, we have a dude that's wet behind the ears that has no freaking clue how he's got 5 plays, and this was given to me in one of the other posts when I did my shows on halftime and afterwards as well. Dude's got like 5 plays. Actually, I think he found a 6th play, and I have a feeling that it was Carr that did this one. Was the 2 plays on Monday night where it was he looks to the right and then he throws it to the left. The first one was the CPAT. The second one was to Cooper. That was a new play because I hadn't seen it all the time.
It was,
and it was a breath of fresh air to see a new play there. Okay? I'm telling you.
They get the touchdown, and it's like the guy had never seen the end zone. Downing lost his goddamn mind when they scored the touchdown. I mean, like, seriously, man. You should not be that excited.
Play like you've been there. Okay?
Yeah.
And again, I am saying this. Todd Downing, it's been nice try. You fired. You got to go.
Get out!
You got to go.
If his ass is not fucking fired on Monday, I'll be beside myself.
Yeah,
if he still has fire his ass before he leaves the facility Sunday. Say thank you for coaching the game today. Take your shit when you leave and give us your key. Get out.
Okay, he can take a Uber back from LA. Okay, he doesn't need to be on the team charter. Okay?
No,
he's got to go.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't even let him come back to the facility. Take all his shit.
Yeah, they can have it packed up while they're gone. Okay,
have a box waiting
little
for
box.
him.
Exactly, it could be in a box.
Have a Raider sticker on the side of it. Thank you.
They can have his wife pick it up. Okay.
But he has to be gone.
He's gotta go.
Don't even prolong it. Get it out, because the opening up that position, now that puts us at the forefront for anybody that's starting to get the axe. All these guys are going to start opening up Monday.
Black Monday.
Yeah, it's everybody's.
Black Monday. We'll see who is available. Okay, and there's going to be names that you guys may say, "Wow, he's available." I'm telling you, watch for Dirk Cutter if he's cut by the Bucks.
Well, what do you think about Bruce Arians? Now,
I'd love to see Bruce Arians.
Now, I know this is a reach. This is a reach.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen either.
Yeah.
But I've heard weird rumors. Obviously, there's a lot of talk that he's going to be cut. They're going to part ways on Monday.
Yeah.
But not only just as an OC, I've also heard as maybe him as an offensive consultant.
Whatever. I would like that because, again, years ago we had Al Saunders as a senior offensive consultant way back when, and it was a good thing to have. Norv Turner would make a great senior offensive consultant if he wants to come back.
Norv is an offensive mastermind.
Yes.
He's a shitty head coach.
Exactly.
He's an offensive mastermind. The guy wins Super Bowls at OC. But he's not a head coach. And there's lots of guys like that. It's okay.
You don't need him to be an offensive coordinator. I told you the other ones to look for. Jim McElwain, who has had a history with the Raiders in the offensive side, is available. He's been available. Now, I don't know if Jim's going to get another college gig. It's possible. But
Popeye, people only retire until you wave a big enough check in front of their face.
What you say about Norv? Norv's living in Martinez, man.
Yeah.
He's playing golf.
Or Bruce. Anybody that says you're going to retire, wave enough money in front of their ass, no matter. Tell me, go look at Tom Coughlin. That guy, how old is that guy? He's in his 70s now. Yeah. And he still can't go away.
And you know what?
Because they keep waving the cash at him.
He's in better shape than I am because the guy is regimented, militaristic. Guy's good to go. Age is just a number, folks. It's how you perform, okay? Coughlin is, look what he did 1 year in Jacksonville as the overseer of that program, and they are the division champs. 1 year under Coughlin,
yeah.
And they are a quarterback away from being an AFC powerhouse for years to come. And that's a scary thought because we live here in Florida.
It is a scary thought. And you look at Jacksonville, and they are a solid team with a solid defense. And you're right, they are a scary, big, gigantic snake with a real shitty head on it right now. Because Blake Bortles they're not going to win a Super Bowl with Blake Bortles.
They get rid of Blake, and they have somebody come in like Kirk Cousins, possibly, or Eli if he wants to get out of New York. They get a good quarterback, man. No telling where that team could be. They could be a perennial power because, again, they don't really have anybody else in that division because they'll be with the Titans. But, you know, is Mariota going to be their only stepping stone cause? Mm. Yep. The Colts, they ain't happening anymore. And maybe the Texans, but they have their own issue.
What about
that's going to be a unique division.
What about Chuck Pagano?
Chuck Pagano.
We get the Pagano.
You know what? Is Chuck an offensive guy?
I think he's more. Yeah, I would say he's more leaned towards the offensive mind.
Okay.
Because he's obviously he's going to be out with the Colts.
Exactly. And he's already said that's his last rodeo. He's already stated to his team that's his last rodeo, and he ain't talking about for the season. He's talking about forever. So, you know, Pagano, since we got the one, it wouldn't be bad if we got the other, because Pagano was a decent coach.
He was a good coach. The Colts just never seemed to put any talent around Luck, and it just, I don't know. They had a bad thing going there. They had Andrew Luck, and they had nothing else really to go with.
They had luck and no luck, man. That's the unfortunate thing with them. But there's going to be people out there, okay? And I know what you're going to say. There's a certain JG that everybody talks about. Now, having said that, Rich Gannon was also talking on the radio the other day. Didn't get a chance to hear everything that he said, but his intonation in his voice was that Gruden has something yet to prove. And the fact that he was so, I don't even say, he was nasty on the Monday night broadcast. I mean, you would have think that if the Raiders even looked at somebody wrong and how horrible they were, and he was talking about how great the Eagles were. I know he came out of Philly as their OC before he went to the Raiders. I got it. But he went out of his way to be so anti-Oakland. Is that a smokescreen? I don't know.
I honestly think he's very young, and he's got a lot. He's got a lot he can offer to coaching, and I think he comes out possibly, but it's not going to be to Oakland.
No,
it's going to be to Tampa.
It's going to be to Tampa
if he comes out, because Cutter's his head is on the chopping block right now. They've 4 games this season.
Yeah.
So, and they've made nice. The Glazers have made the owners of the Tampa Bay Bucks have made nicey with Gruden over the last couple of years. They just put him in the Ring of Honor. They had a big ceremony. They all patted him on the back. You're so great, Gruden. They did all that shit. So I mean, they're all buddy now. So they're already kind of paving the way.
Okay, but here's the thing: for those with short memories, I give you this. Please go back and remember what it was like when John Gruden was our coach. He did well. He did about 10 years ago what Del Rio did last year, okay? He brought the team up, okay? He got them respectable. He got them to a winning position. It was 8-8, 8-8, 12-4, okay? That's what he did. He got them over the hump, and that's what Del Rio has done for us as of last year. Yep. That's what Gruden did. But he could never finish the bill, man. I tell you, it took Callahan and Mark Trestman to take the same offense, soup it up, and make it so that it was a force to be reckoned with, okay? It was Callahan and Trestman that did that with Gannon. It was basically the same personnel because Gruden is a conservative dude. How many times did he just lay off the gas?
Oh, man.
And the last game, remember the last game before the playoff game, the last regular season game that Gruden was there, we played the Jets. And he had, what did he do? He let Charlie Garner run wild to pad his stats. And what happened? We lost that game. And if we win that game, we have a game in Oakland, not going out to New England. And remember also that year when they had that stupid call in Denver, the guy kind of moved. Yeah, he didn't move. Because of that one penalty, it took the winning touchdown off the board. That one BS call in Denver was one other loss that we shouldn't have had. And because of that friggin' loss, we had to go out to New England.
I blame the Tuck Rule game as much on John Gruden as I do that goddamn play. You go back and watch the end of that game, the second half of that game, it was John Gruden's gutless play calling, his not giving Zach Crockett and letting those guys go on short yard. Man, that game, I put that as much on him as I do that Tuck Rule game. I don't want Chucky back.
John Gruden is a nice guy. I've got a chance to meet him the last a couple times recently. Very affable, very nice to me. He saw all my Raider gear, and he smiled because, we have that connection. You guys look on my profile, you'll see my picture with John. Great guy. Don't want him as our coach.
No, we're good on coach. Del Rio's good.
See,
I'm good with Del Rio. I hold him accountable, and I hold him and Reggie accountable for the fact they shouldn't have brought Norton back. They already brought the replacement in, so I hold a really big accountable for that. And the offensive coordinator, I hold him accountable because those are the 2 that had to make the decision on that.
Well, I tell you,
but I still think he's our guy.
Okay, you and I gonna differ that. I wouldn't mind, okay, if Del Rio is the coach next year. I'm gonna have a heartburn with it. Look at Del Rio's record when he was with the Jaguars. He got him up, he got him to a point. He still has never won a division title.
No, he is the record now.
184 yes. games without a division title, okay?
That's the most in NFL history, folks.
Do you want that as a head coach? No. He served his purpose. He got the Raiders back to a point before it was destroyed. Before it was destroyed in D.C.
But what about continuity, Captain?
Well,
what about a little continuity? Because changing coaches, it's usually not a good thing.
I got you, and I was all for keeping it. And if Del Rio is our coach next year, so be it, okay? But it will be his last year. And the other thing that I say is this. They're always talking about that extension, which was stupid to give the guy an extension after 1 year, okay, based upon one thing. Stupid, okay? We got to live with it. But the other thing is how much of that extension is guaranteed? How much of that would have to be eaten if he goes this year? We don't know that. We don't know the parameters of that contract. So it's quite possible that it could be gone this year. It's quite possible it could be gone next year. I'm telling you this. In my mind, if Del Rio is our coach next year, and granted, we got to have a real offensive coordinator, and not just a real offensive coordinator, we need a real quarterback coach because they got to work with Carr. Carr is playing injured. He is not the same Carr that he was years ago, so there's something there. Carr has got to get back to the way he was.
He regressed this year. I mean, hey, I'm as big a Derek Carr fan as anybody else, but for these rah-rah Derek Carr fans out there that just can't look at the guy and say that he had any fault in what happened this season. It's ridiculous. Yes, he was hurt, but he obviously regressed this season. He regressed. He wasn't the player he was last season. And hopefully he can get that back over the offseason. Like you said, we need a good offensive coordinator. His line helping in front of him. Wide receivers catching the ball would help. But he just wasn't the same this year.
The entire team was out to lunch following week 3. And that's a fact. Cut it any way you like it. The entire team checked out as a team week 3. The debacle in D.C., you've heard it here. And you've been hearing it all season.
Yeah, it's nothing new. I mean, and I agree. I saw NorCal mention it earlier, and we talked about it a little last night, which the first kind of dent that was put in the mojo was the Donald Penn holdout, obviously, because the mojo was good. We made all the right moves all through the offseason. All of the rookies were signed. Everybody was lined up. Carr's contract was taken care of. And the freaking day before training camp. Ta-da! Headline news, Donald Penn's not going to show up. He's holding out. He wants more money. So that was kind of your first chink in the armor a little bit.
Yeah.
And then week 3 just, it completely imploded. And then an analogy I heard on one of the other fan pages was...
this is a good one.
The week 3, the Raiders ship hit a rock. And we started to take on water. Unfortunately, the crew did not figure out how to fix the hole. And the damn ship sunk.
Or went down. And take it from a Navy man, okay? When you have damage, your ship is under battle damage, general quarters, you are in emergency stations, you got everybody, all hands to the right area. You're using shoring. If you guys don't know what shoring is, look it up. But basically, it's stuffing the hole and finding wood and that's called shoring. This is what gets the ship right. Okay, you get the hole fixed first, and then you pump out the water. We didn't do any of that crap. And you know what? It was all. And this is another thing on Del Rio is because Del Rio says, "Hey, Marshawn's Marshawn. He can do it. You know, hey, the guys can do what they want. Blah 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 blah. I'm not going to be over here." Del Rio has not shown me the leadership. There's dissension in the locker room. Another point, which I've already spoke to the Commish about, there's reports that there is a divisiveness based upon Mike Tice. I don't know. but this comes from another good source. So there is so much crap that you got to sift through to find out what's going on in this organization. The season's done. Thank God the season's done, because I'm ready to go ahead for next year to see what's going to be done in free agency, which cancers are going to be taken out of the locker room, and get me an OC or get me a new coach.
We aren't the same team we were before. This isn't the 14-year period of suck that we lived through. This team has talent. Those were teams that not only had crappy coaching, crappy coordinators, they didn't have talent on the team. They had very minimal talent. We have a talented team now. They've got to be coached properly. So there's a few bad apples that we need to get out. So you get the bad apples out, you get the proper coaches in there to take this team with talent and have them live up to their potential, because I don't believe that we were not as good as our record last year. I think we were a 12-4 team that unfortunately had our quarterback hurt at the end of the year. Whatever happened this year, this season got away from us. It got away from us in a 4-game stretch between week 3 and week 6. It just started to unravel.
And the only time that we came back from that was the Thursday night affair against the Chiefs, where we sucked it up, played at home, the 31-30 one-point game, which was awesome. The game that would not end. It looked like the life was breathed, whatever, back into the team from that game, okay? And from then on, the Chiefs started to go downhill, and it looked like we had gotten ourselves together, and it was the same Kansas City team that used us to breathe life back into their organization, and they've been going up ever since, while we've been sucking wind and going down. More water damage. That hole is not fixed. We need to get to 2018.
No, I seen a couple of comments there. Somebody asked, who do you think the bad apples are? And then I seen somebody else comment, we're going to know soon enough. And I can attest to that we will know soon enough that when the season's over, the first guys you start seeing released or seeing exit or seeing traded, you can guarantee those were some of your bad apples and some of your bad seeds in your locker room that coaches, and they wanted to get out. You'll start to see who the guys were.
But I tell you, it's not going to be all of them, because
you can't get rid
there's
of all
going
of
to
them.
there's going to be players on the team that are still going to linger, and it's going to be up to them to breathe some life in them. And I tell you this as well: there is not good leadership in that locker room. Derek Carr and again, I'm a Carr fan. But Derek Carr needs to get some Rich Gannon nastiness.
He's got to get a mean streak in him, man.
He's got to become a prick and make sure that he leads that team, because there's no hard leaders in that team. Mac is not the voice that you need. Navarro Bowman is the leader that you need
a guy in a locker room. You need a guy in a huddle that will grab a guy by the face mask and what the fuck them on the football field. You got to have a mean streak. It's a violent game. These are grown-ass men trying to kill each other for a freaking inch of grass. One way or another. You gotta be a little nasty. You can't throw an interception and fucking smile about it. You can't walk off the field after you just lost a game smiling about it. It's a bad look.
It's a bad look. I don't think that was actually a smile. I think it was one of these, just the way that the camera panned on Carr. I'd like to say that wasn't a smile of like a funny ha-ha. It was more like a smile of, it's just the way the camera panned. I honestly don't think, and I have Derek Carr, I'm not going to blow smoke up Derek Carr's butt on this one, but I don't think that was a smile.
No, I don't think it was a ha-ha kind of smile, but
it was like a gosh darn it, Oh, by the way, did anybody hear
Derek
Carr say F you on screen the other night? He cussed out Howie's kid because Howie's kid got in his head. Why? Because nobody could block Howie's kid.
No, God.
Chris Long was all over Carr, and it got in his head so bad that Derek Carr told Chris Long, F you.
Took him out of his game. Got in his head.
Go back and look at the tapes. You guys are lip readers. You will either hear it or see it or both. Okay? When you can get Derek Carr to say F you and be heard, you know that he got under his skin. And I tell you, that game was lost on those certain points. No right tackle. I tell you what, Sharp, the kid at left tackle, for a rookie to be thrown into the game, he didn't play that bad. He had some gaffes, but as a whole, Sharp played a decent left tackle that game. We need to figure out who our left tackle of the future is because, again, Penn might not be back.
Penn's on the end. And,
Yeah.
you know, I've said it before. I've talked about it before. But Penn was set out on the curb by Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
He was done, man. He was set out to be picked up and recycled. You can recycle him if you want or just take him to the landfill. They were done with him. So the Raiders were the last. There wasn't no bunch of people knocking on Donald Penn's door. He wasn't a hot commodity. So he was at the end of his road. And
he's done well, but I tell you, he did not deserve that extension.
I didn't think so either.
He did not deserve it. And if they would have
Too long
done
in the
it
tooth.
one year for like a see ya out the door, kind of like what they did with Jano. And oh, by the way, Jano does not need to come back either. He is a kicker, 40 years old. And do you really need to spend all of that money on a kicker when there are kids that you can get off the street that did better? And by the way, I like Tavecchio, but you don't need a left-footed kicker. The only reason why we still have a left-footed kicker is because we've been inclined to go that way for years and years and years. We need a new kicker in training camp, and most of the kickers are right-footed. John Kondo is probably, he's long in the too. And I like John, but you need to revamp 2/3 of your kicking game right there. A new long snapper, a new kicker.
Yeah, a place kicker we've got to address. Janikowski is getting, what's he do, around 4? I want to say. I think he's about $4 million.
Well, he got cut from 4 to 3 this one year. It was a golden parachute. We don't need a kicker for $3 million.
The league average is barely $1 million for a kicker. So there is no
those
reason
are for the good ones.
Yeah, there is no reason for us to pay that. Take that hit against the cap for a kicker. No reason for that at all.
Re-sign Navarro Bowman.
Especially
that's
when
one.
I know everybody's got. Hey, I love Jano too, man. He's a Raider legend. He's been around for years. But go back and look at his stats over the last 5 years. He's declined every year, and the kicks that he's now starting to miss on a regular basis are the one over 50 yards, which are the freaking reason that we've always had his ass. Is because he can nail the long ball. Well, if he's not nailing the long ball consistently, and we're just paying a kicker $3 to $4 million who's kicking balls 50 yards and under, there's a guy that can do that on every team in the NFL.
And again, I'm not a Jano hater. Hater. I've loved everything. He was worth the first round pick that we had on Janikowski. Great, but we need to move on. There are things we need to do.
Have a talk with him.
Yeah.
Convince him it's time to retire. Retire a Raider.
Yeah, retire a Raider. But
don't go do some stupid goddamn Tim Brown shit and go be for 1 year and be somebody else.
Yeah, and you know what? I see that he probably will, but you know what, guys, you need to learn when to get rid of your players. And we have to do that.
You got a kicker who's dealing with back issues. Back issues and knee issues.
Dun, dun, dun!
Back issues and knee issues.
Yeah.
The two worst damn things you can deal with.
For a kicker.
And he's 40 almost.
Yeah.
I'm 42. Trust me. You start to hit that age, it's amazing. It's like you just hit a wall and shit just starts breaking.
Yep.
It just doesn't work right anymore.
And I'm on the IR. You guys got that dissertation last week. Hopefully they'll find something.
Yeah, it's amazing. So, you know, when you're 35 or so, you don't think about it. You're like, oh, shit, I still feel great. Man, it's like, it's a cliff you hit.
Reggie Nelson, see ya. Janikowski, see ya.
He's gone.
Sean Smith, if he avoids prison.
I was big on the fact that Sean Smith needed another year coming into this season.
Yeah.
And now that the new defensive coordinator
Under
in the
Pagano.
last 5 weeks.
Exactly.
You've seen what Sean Smith can do with the real defensive coordinator.
Under the right coordinator, if Sean Smith avoids prison, and that's a big if, the way things that I'm reading.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. It sounds like there's more. It's more to the story of him defending his sister's honor. That maybe there was, maybe Sean was a little more.
Sean went overboard, and I almost can guarantee. Okay, I can almost guarantee. Don't put your paycheck on it, but I can almost guarantee that he's going to prison now. For how long, or for if they say he can do like work release or something, I don't know. But the guy's going to prison. So do not count on Sean Smith as of right now as the other corner. And that's a shame if we keep Pagano. Emerson, see ya.
Emerson needs to go. I'm over the Emerson experiment here for a couple seasons. I was hoping for a lot from him this season. He was unavailable most of the season. He's banged up, and when he was out there, he wasn't good.
And this is another thing that's not going to be very looked happily upon. Cooper needs to go to the slot. You need to use Crabtree on one, and you either use Patterson on the other, or you pick up a
I gotta disagree with you on that one. I'm not ready to give up on Coop yet. I'm giving him one more year.
I'm not giving up on Coop, but he is a natural slot receiver. He can do so much better in the slot because remember your slot. No, and by Seth, bye.
I like Seth Roberts. I'm not ready to say bye to Seth yet.
Seth.
I like our wide receiver core.
I like our wide receiver core too, but we can do better. There are free agents out there that we can pick up. And you're going to tell me that you would rather have Landry, who's a free agent?
No, I can't say that.
For over Seth Roberts?
If it's a bye because we added somebody, well, that's different. But I just can't say bye to him just as a season starts.
I'm saying pick up a wide receiver that's worth the money. Seth Roberts is not worth the money. And you know what? If Holton develops, he's not bad either. Okay,
he's not. He's a speedster. That's for sure. He's
got to learn to do the routes. Patterson has got to learn the routes. Patterson and Holton are untapped resources. Roberts has already hit his peak, and you can find a better receiver. And again, I'm not banging on Seth. If we don't get one, fine. But there are better ones out there, okay? And put Cooper in the slot where he belongs.
I can't disagree with that. There are definitely better wide receivers out there than Seth Roberts. So if you can upgrade, obviously. But if we had to stay with the guys that we had at wide receiver, I think we would be fine. Our offense doesn't need a lot of help. The line we need to address.
That's again where we're gonna. I like when we have some of these here
because I'm good with most of our offense. I think we're fine at fullback. I want to see another year of Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
I want to see another year of beast mode.
Having said that, guys, remember how prolific our offense was last year? Granted, we were under Musgrave, okay? But we were in a power blocking scheme. And we changed it because Marshawn Lynch was there. You know what? Marshawn, you're not the same back you were in Seattle. I like Marshawn's, what he's done the last 5-6 weeks. He's really gotten better. But you know what? He is not the same back that he was in Seattle. Go back to the power blocking scheme. And then you figure out between D-Wash and Richard, pick one. And you go with them, let the other one go, and you get a freaking back in the draft this year that's going to be your stud. That's what you do.
Well, that would be nice. I'd like to see a young stud back. That would be nice.
Get me Nick Chubb, get me Penny, get me Love. Get a real running back that can take you places. And you know what? You go. You let one of those Richard or D-Wash go. But the big thing is you go back to the power blocking scheme. ZBS. You know where ZBS can go? Right here. ZBS my arse. There you go.
Well, yeah, I would like to see a young running back stuck in there. I only think the beast mode experiment goes one more year. Yeah. But I would like to see him go one more year because you've seen the last 5 weeks
he's done
what he can do for the team.
He needs to change his mode to beast power blocking mode instead of beast zone blocking mode.
I can get on board with that. I can definitely get on board with that.
He's an asset. Use him, but you better have those 300-pound behemoths do what they're best at and have him change for the last year, not the other way around. And I tell you, this offense will run well. They will have the running to set up the pass. It'll hopefully get Carr out of his doldrums. You do that one change with a real coordinator and a real coach, go to a power blocking scheme, and see how much better we are when you have Pagano as defensive coordinator. We're going to win the freaking West. You can take that to the bank, just like Beretta used to say.
All right, so man, we've been going on this for a minute. So let's change gears just a little bit, because we got
15 minutes.
But let's change gears a little bit, because we do have one more game left.
One more game.
And it is division rival. It's Chokers. We've got them in L.A. And it's I do believe it's the Raiders' first game in L.A. in 23 years. I believe that's what I read today. So they're predicting that it's going to be a 75 to 85% blackout. Raider friendly.
We need that. We need that. Because, again, the Chargers will know before the game whether they're in the playoffs or not. You know what? I don't care. I want to beat the Chargers just because. Because I don't want to be... We have 8 losses or 9 losses? 9 losses, okay? The worst I want to be is 7-9, okay?
Yeah, I don't want to be 6-10, man.
I do not want to have a double-digit loss record.
God damn it.
No. Hey, 1 or 2 spots in the draft right now. We're drafting 11.
Yeah, that doesn't mean shit to me.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
I want to win.
I want to win, and we'll get good people in the draft.
We don't want the Chokers getting in the playoffs, walking across to us to get there. Fuck that. They need help to get there anyway. But we don't. We want to do our part to keep them out, because if they don't win, they're out.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what the other scenarios are.
We beat them, they're out of the playoffs. They're not in the playoffs. And that's all that matters. That's all that needs to be said.
And you know what? If that happens, I'll go into the offseason with a little bit of a smile. Not a big one, but a little bit.
A smirk.
That'll help.
A smirk.
A smirk. I wouldn't call it a smile.
Yeah.
A smirk is better.
Go for the smirk.
That helps. That helps to burn a little bit. It's a little salve on it. But it would be nice. It would be very nice to end the season on a win.
It's always nice to get a win at the end of the season. It's an emotional boost for the next year for those that are going to be there, okay? It's going to be very important for the team that is there next year to get that nice little up at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. Nice little up.
Yeah, it's always good to end on a victory. I mean, the locker room is so much different after a win than it is after a loss. It'd be just a good way for them. It'd just be a great way to end this season. This season just got away from us. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. And it would be a nice win in L.A., front of a Raider-friendly crowd, basically an L.A. home game, and beat a division rival.
Got to do that.
And kill their season.
I was at the Charger game this year, okay? Losing by 1 point sucked. And you guys, I'll bring you back to that game. Remember, high snap is to the 1 point with the PAT that Tavecchio missed to the left. Again, and I said, God, I hope that doesn't cost us the game. There was a young lady that was who was the first time at a Raider game. She was from the Caribbean. So we're marching the Chargers march down the field, and she sees the score. She sees that we're winning. The Raiders are winning, so she's excited. She thinks that the Raiders are going to win. And I had to explain it to her. I says, no, in about 30 seconds, we're going to lose. And she couldn't fathom that. Trying to explain to somebody that doesn't know football, and she's a great lady that knows football. She loves the Raiders. She's the Dominican Raiderette for sure. Being at that game, there's nothing more than I want than to beat the damn Chargers last game out. Again, the Raiders, their offense, has sucked this year because, again, they're 19th in the league in yards. 19th. Remember, we were a top 6 offense last year. We're now, for total yards, 19th in the league, 25th in rushing yards, and that's with a boost of Marshawn Lynch going as well. Points, 23rd as well. And they're going up against, obviously, a great defense in San Diego. Mm-hmm. San Diego didn't miss a beat letting Pagano go. But you know what? Their loss is our gain in that. But their defense is no joke. They have Melvin Ingram out there. They have Joey Bosa out there. And he got two D-backs which are Pro Bowl caliber. Okay? So you're not going to throw on them. And they can rush the hell out of you. So again,
as much as I hate Bolo Ty, that son of a bitch is capable of dropping 300 to 400 yards passing on your ass at any given time. He may throw 4 interceptions with it, but the guy will throw the damn ball. He keeps throwing. As much as I hate Phillip Rivers.
Oh, I can't stand Phillip Rivers.
He keeps throwing the fucking ball, and he will keep throwing it. So he's just one of those quarterbacks that can have one of them games on you at any given time.
Yeah.
But he can also have the game where he throws 4 interceptions. That's Phillip Rivers. But
so hopefully the Pagano and again, remember our defensive coordinator who's coordinator now, where has he spent the last 12 years? In San Diego. He was not the defensive coordinator for the first game because that was still under Norton. And remember, we only lost by 1 point. I anticipate Pagano to let the dogs loose and to get after Phillip Rivers, and he will know how to tame that offense. Now it's up to our offense, and that's what sucks. It's what's up to our offense to beat that San Diego defense, and that's going to be the hard part.
We've got to score some points. I agree. I think our defense is going to come after him. I think we're going to get some hits on the quarterback, and I think we're going to have pressure on him. You've seen it the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They've let the guys loose. Max getting to the quarterback. The other guys are getting there. Defensive linemen are getting there. We are starting to move guys around. We are blitzing. We are scheming, and we are stunning and getting guys that are coming in on the defense. So I think we can get to him. It's all about scoring points, man. You got to score more than 10 points in the NFL. You got to score more than 10 points against a freaking team that has a backup quarterback starting.
Remember, though, as well, as far as points, the Chargers are 17th in the league with 21.7. They're not much better than us as far as for points. It's their passing yards. They are 3rd in the league, 270 yards, okay? Rivers is having a phenomenal year. It's going to be up to the Raiders that have the defensive backs. And look how amazing last week against the Eagles receivers, their wide receivers didn't do jack the entire night. They had basically a goose egg because our D-backs did well. But what killed us? The tight end. It's been that way for years, and it's not going to get better because San Diego, not only do they have Gates, they have the other kid whose name escapes me at this point, that was a young kid in the league, maybe 1 or 2 years.
Yes.
A high draft pick. The guy eats footballs for a living, okay? So we're going to have to cover him, and hopefully the linebackers will do that. Morrow's been playing well, and Bowman's been playing well, but we're going to need to cover the tight end because if the tight end kills us or their running back, that's just bad news for the Raiders defense. I think we can do well on their receivers. And, oh, by the way, somebody told me that Keenan Allen is actually a free agent next year.
Yeah, I believe he is.
And he is a Raider fan from birth.
Yep.
There's your good wide receiver that you can replace Seth Roberts with. I know he wants to come to Oakland. He's an Oakland fan. You give him the
Ingram.
Well, there you go.
Ingram is too.
But I think we need to wait a little bit on that. He just signed a contract.
He did just sign a contract, but he was a by birth Raider fan as well. And he was a couple weeks ago that somebody asked him, who owns LA, and he even answered Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
And tell you what, Joey Bosa's brother at Ohio State, you want to improve your pass rush. That's the guy you get in the draft, too. Wouldn't it be great to get the other Bosa? And he's actually better than Joey Bosa.
He's the better Bosa.
So, again, there's lots to be doing, and let's take it to San Diego this week. That's the time to do it.
It would be a good feel-good win for the Raider Nation, for your fan base. This would be a good win to just end the season on. Yeah, I agree. It's 7-9 sounds a hell of a lot better than 6-10.
Yeah.
It's not a double loss year. It's only 2 games below 500. I don't know. It'd be a good win to end their season, get us a nice feel-good win on the way out against a division rival.
And we can take the step. we improved. We went from 7-9 to 12-4. Let's not go back below 7-9. Let's at least get that, because we know we can improve leaps and bounds. We've seen it. We've seen it. We went from 7-9 under Del Rio to 12-4 under Del Rio. If he's there next year, and I'm kind of middle of the road. If he's there, great, but he better have a good offensive coordinator, or he better have some decent coaching. But if not, new coaching, this team can be right back in the thick of it. 12-4, 13-3. They have the capabilities. I'm not smoking dope, guys. I'm telling you, this.
There's
team
not
can
a
do
huge
it.
difference in the NFL in the middle of the road teams between the 6-10 and the 10-6. That's 4 games over the course of a season where you get away from you by a point or two. That's not a huge margin of difference.
It's one game.
It's correctable.
One game
it's
per
correctable.
quarter. That's right.
It is. They're not the Browns. We're not the Browns where you don't even, you're just looking at it and like, fuck, where do I even begin? We're not that. We're some tweaks away from being a well-oiled machine again. And we can get there.
It starts up front. It starts with getting a new left tackle. It starts with getting a new right tackle. So those are the 2 improvements on the offensive line. It starts with a coordinator that knows how to use the tight end and the running back. It starts with a whole different philosophy.
Because we have the weapons.
We do.
You got the weapons. Amari Cooper, Crabtree, Jared Cook. We got running backs. We need to fix some things on the line, because I don't know what the hell happened to the line this year. But they've got weapons. We should be able to move the ball and compete every Sunday. What's happened this season with the offenses, it was unacceptable. It really was.
And I think you guys are going to find out. I think you guys are going to find out in the offseason that Carr was playing with more of pain, and I'm hoping that that's the reason why his fundamentals has regressed, is that he was playing with the pain, because I remember, that was a 6-week injury that he came back in 2. Okay? So that throws off your mechanics, and he's also playing scared. The guy is playing scared, and that has to be addressed. And again, I'd love to go out and say, Derek, love you to death, but I'd grab him by the face mask and say, you need to go back to your fundamentals. And that's called following through. Do not step off. You follow through with your pass. You don't throw off your back foot.
Step and throw. My God. I was watching some of it, he's rolling out, he's not stepping into the throw, he's stepping off to the side. It's just, his basic mechanics have just really gotten off. And it may just be hey, he just needs to sit down.
Yeah.
Let's refocus, and let's get the small things right again. Because, does he suck? No, he doesn't suck.
No, he doesn't suck.
Do we need a new quarterback?
No.
You people that are calling for his head, but the people that are so pro-Carr that they can't see any fault in the guy. I mean, come on. Nobody's perfect. Everybody can get better.
That's right.
Everybody can get better. This is his 4th year in the season. This is a young kid. He's coming into his 5th. This can be fixed.
Yeah.
He's still learning. This year, hopefully, is a good learning experience for him, and he can grow on that next season.
But he's got to learn to be an a-hole. He has got to learn that you got to take people by the face mask, even though they're your teammates. You can't be buddy-buddy with them all the time.
No.
Okay? I like the fact he's a religious guy, okay? I certainly am not, so I applaud him for being a good religious guy. But you have to be an asshole when it's called for. He needs more Rich Gannon in him, okay?
Yes.
He doesn't have to be as much of a prick as Rich, but he's got to tune it up a notch.
You got to you got to throw a Gatorade cooler on the ground. You got to get pissed. You got to go, what the fuck, your offensive coordinator, if you don't like what he's sending in to you. You got to have some fire. You have to. It's a violent game. That's the only thing that I want to see out of him, is just get that little bit of a mean streak.
You got to get in your belly.
Get that Raider streak in you.
That's right.
That's what he needs. Just that little bit of nasty. I guess that means we're about done.
Well, the nastiness is returned because we walked right on cue. We said nasty things at the right nasty time. Get nasty, Raider Nation. We'll be with you. That is the Commish, and that's the man.
This is the captain. Joining me again. I'm sure we'll have the captain back in over the off season, off and on, and because I'm not going anywhere. I'll still be here, but we'll have the captain back in, and when next season comes around, we'll probably do a little more stuff. But the season's winding down, so we're gonna change things up here a little at Raider Reaction, which we will be posting this weekend, dropping it on New Year's Eve about some of the changes, but. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out with me again in studio, Captain.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful time. Hey, remember, be safe out there. We want you guys back, okay?
Yes, we want to see you all on New Year's Day. So, be safe on the holiday. Man, Uber, Lyft. In 2017, 2018, there is no damn reason you should have to drink and drive on New Year's Eve.
That's right.
At all. Don't do it. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't put anybody else in danger. But thank you for joining us.
And if you're dumb, I'm going to come after you. Yeah.
We're out. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.